If somebody else wants to share a screen, I can hand that over too. That might be easier. Would that work, Nori, or is that too much?
I guess it doesn't matter as long as we can see the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it up. It'll take me a few minutes to find it.
Okay, hang on a sec. I put everything in the chat. Oops. See, this is what happens when I get a little flustered. Anybody else feel free to jump in and grab that before me.
I got it.
Simon, you still like the old logo, huh?
Yeah, I can't get rid of it. No, I didn't think. I didn't even do anything with my logo. You know.
No,
But I
it's
really
good. It's
like
a nice
it.
one. That's the original one.
I'm old school, you know.
Old school.
That's
Oh,
good.
Well, it'll be an NFT one of these days. Who else needs to be co-host here? Nadia. Do you need to share anything, any screen or anything like that, Nadia?
Nope.
Okay, Sebastian, thank you for showing up too. And then there's one other document we're going to share is the meetup for tomorrow, kind of an agenda that we work on. This one. Okay. And Sebastian, what I did was I put, what just happened? I put one screen in this document for the little fish presentation. Let's see what we got here. Come on.
Yeah, it was amazing yesterday, huh?
What was amazing about yesterday?
The presentation of Little Fish.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, we'll figure that out as well. We don't really have, there is a slide in that slide deck to write up an agenda. So maybe that's what we can use for that too. For now. Okay, Nori, take it away.
Have you done the announcements?
Nope.
Okay. Any announcements? This is a time for people to just say anything. It's really short, but it's things that you want to either celebrate or announce to the group. It could be birthdays, anniversaries, new job. No announcements. Okay, so we'll get into the consent agenda. First topic is
what about things for climate?
What was that?
What about things about Cardano for climate? Or is it because
nothing happening with Cardano for climate? No announcements. We can't take over the whole meeting, Simon.
All right.
Sorry, what do you need to know? Maybe that's a good thing.
I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I'm not sure. I wanted to do something in the Cardano for climate meetup, but I'm not sure anymore what it was. But I was just curious if the agenda, if that was also interesting for things about Cardano for climate. For example, if I want to have a room in the Cardano for climate meetup.
So planning the meetup tomorrow looks like it's on the agenda.
Yep. So we can talk a little bit more about what that should look like. Okay, good, awesome. Simon, get used to this new agenda thing. And
yeah,
right now, Nori, you're sharing your double screen.
If we could use GitHub.
That's a good one.
We can to record it if you want. We're just using Google Docs because it's easier for people. These agendas are intended for people, whoever you are, to add anything you want. And that's really difficult with GitHub, but we can use GitHub to actually record the minutes and
No, I mean, I think it's all right like this as well. I can just link it to GitHub, right? So it's no problem. I was just curious why we're going with Google Docs first. But yeah, if
That's
if we
because
don't invite
Melanie
them to the
took over.
repository,
yeah.
if we don't, if we can't, we can't invite everyone to the repository, I guess. So yeah, it makes sense. Of course, let's do that.
And Nori, can you do me a favor and just share one of your screens? You're overwhelming me with all those. I
Yes,
see.
I can't read anything as well.
Oh, sorry. I don't
That's
know how
okay.
to share in Zoom. So if somebody else share the agenda, I can never pick out. I have too many windows open.
You can never share?
No,
Well,
at Town Hall, I share my calendar and I
Okay,
don't know
and your
why.
private messages.
Exactly. My computer's so slow, it doesn't work.
if you put it in the chat, I wasn't there when you shared it. Then I can share on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, somebody forward that, or I will do that in about 30 minutes.
There you go.
Okay, thanks, Nori. So that's it for announcements and sorting out.
And the agenda is set. I showed up a little late, but it sounds like you guys were setting the agenda first.
Hopefully it'll work. Simon, you'll be able to scroll down to the table there and see if that looks okay. We've got the event updates about the event, planning the meetup tomorrow. Nadia sharing about the CA role, accounting, what we need to do for that, and then delegating tasks. What are we doing? Who's doing what?
Question for Nadia before we start. Do you want to go first so that you can duck out if you want, or are you interested in staying for the whole meeting? I just noticed there's a half hour of stuff before you.
You know what? I don't have a preference, and I'm happy to be here. I have this time set aside, and I love this topic, and all of you haven't gotten to spend much time, so I'm happy to be here. And unless you guys would prefer that I go first.
No, we want you to stay.
Okay. So that's good. And really, the whole point is just to see about how we might share it. So maybe it's good to have a little bit of the other discussion first for context.
Okay.
Same for you, Andre. You're good for the whole 45 minutes? Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay, good. And so we're going to have to squeeze in a little bit quicker if we want to be done at the top of the hour. So maybe we're taking 5 minutes off of each of the bigger ones there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. We're 15 minutes in. We'll jump to the first topic, which is plastics and Cardano.
That's you,
Yeah.
Yoram. And you're on mute.
So we had yesterday the weekly the event weekly meetup. Sean came on board. Basically, we did the Miro board. If you have the link, Melanie, to the Miro board, that yes, please put it here. It's going to be a very exciting event. Basically, we have very good speakers. We have Elias speaking about recycling, plastic recycling. Sean speaking about citizen science and plastic. We are still looking for some women projects related or somehow about plastic. This Abe is going to help support that. And we have basically the kind of apocalypse, the NFT project on the sea, related to the sea. I just met today Shlomo, which is, again, it's very funny. It's a 78 years old guy making incredible designs. I'm going to share it with you. Apocalypse. And basically, it's funny, friend of my mother from kindergarten. So we'll share with you. I don't know if you find that. I will find it and share the link. And we are basically doing a Cardano for Climate project with him and with Damian from Cardano Trees, and NFTs for Good. basically how to connect this project to NGOs collecting plastics, and is happy to give the first like the NFT, the artwork NFT, as a gift to all the participants. So the idea is that then he will give it as a gift to all the participants, and each one can choose any amount he wants to donate, from UNAIDA to any amount he wants to donate to these NGOs collecting plastic from the oceans. So he's happy with that. He very much in line with that. Yeah, so I mean, the only thing that I again just stress a little bit about the timing. So we need help in the organizing, and we have Ebbe is supporting, and that's really the only thing a little bit, because finishing, I mean, we have speakers now, which is quite great. I saw Melanie already did the meetup description, which is great.
Meetup started the slide deck.
Yeah.
Working on that just as a beginning place.
So for me, if we can finish all of that for the next meeting on Monday and kind of be ready with everything on Monday next meeting, it will give us 2 weeks to promote it. That will be a record. The only thing there is really is with Shlomo and this NFT project and so on, to make sure that they will be ready, but he's very excited about it. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very cool number 4 event for Cardano for Climate. So I don't know if you have anything to add on that, Melanie.
I'm just going to add the folder link from our drive so people can see what's there. It feels sometimes like I'm opening up my my closet when I do this, because I'm trying to get this organized and it's not really all that great. So just bear with me on this one. It's a bit disorganized. And yeah, anyways, it's all good.
No, it's all good. Shlomo Cohen. Yeah, I need to find the link.
And this one, share.
Shlomo Cohen is the guy, I don't know if you saw, he did the NFT of Haskinson NFT as well.
So this will have, I believe the Miro board has all those links on it. If you open that one up, you'll see all the links to different things. This folder has our slide deck, any information, photos, things we're using for Meetup, our Meetup description. So, you know, anybody that wants to jump in on this or know of a project, I see in the chat, there's a lot of plastic things coming up. So it's pretty exciting to see that.
Yeah, we need the plastic with the mushrooms, huh? Also, it's amazing.
I'm going to phone Michael, the local mushroom guy, today and talk to him and see if I can get him on board. But a lot of cool articles about that. So.
Yeah, and thank you, Ebbe, for reaching out. Yeah.
Yeah. So how we doing there, Boss Nori?
Still got 2 minutes.
Anybody else want to add anything to that? Any questions? Hey, I want to help.
Yeah, I mean, this conference can be really amazing one. Yeah.
Oh, the other thing is that there's, and maybe that's in all the documents too, there is a Telegram chat specifically for event planning. And I apologize to the 3 members that were there that I had to forward all sorts of messages, but hopefully we'll get that sorted out.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask if I can have a room for the proposal for the Cardano for Climate, or the
That'll be for the tomorrow?
For the plastics event?
Yes.
Oh, tomorrow.
Oh, or for the plastics event?
No, for tomorrow.
Okay, so are we ready to move into that topic?
Are we done with the plastics event?
I think so. So what I just dropped in there was the Telegram chat specifically for event planning. Anybody's welcome to jump in on that. And and also you can.
No, please, sorry.
Sorry, you can also share that with anybody you see on the Telegram chat. you know, oh, you got something to do with plastics, please join this event planning group, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, just to let you know the really stunning image. The last event, actually, we had one tweet on the regenerative agriculture one that got 60,000, 65,000 impressions like in a couple of days. I mean, it was really great. So we are starting to get some traction and interest on the events, and yeah, and it's wonderful because
Which
and
reminds,
yeah, sorry.
there's a couple things admin to do is to add the YouTube video to the previous meetup from the event, and then, you know, make sure that that gets added in, because the event happens and it would be a nice place to deposit the link to the YouTube video of the event.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. Sorry, Yoram, I cut you off. Did we use up those 2 minutes?
No,
Lori?
yeah, we have a few more, but it sounds like we still have a bit of planning, but we still have a couple of weeks. So I heard that there are next steps, and we should probably also talk about a marketing plan. Like, we got really amazing Twitter impressions and stuff, but it would be nice to have a little more organization around that and figure out who's going to use what accounts and what message we're going to tweet out. And
Which reminds me, in that folder is a planning document for planning the event. So, you know, things like that, writing up the meetup, media, we can split those up and start having, I'm trying to do these brain dumps with all the little things that get done.
Mm-hmm.
And then other people, we can turn them into checklists and get those done a lot easier for the next person doing this event.
Yeah. And I would suggest for our next event meeting, now that we have funds to do events, we should decide as an events group how we spend that, so that we stop being 100% volunteers for this.
And that hopefully that task list is going to be a way to show what people do. For now, it's going to be on the honor system and saying, hey, you know, when we look at this next event, 100% event is done. There's still some, well, actually maybe 80%, and there's still follow up on it. And then we just go, okay, Yoram, what do you feel like you did on this event overall? You know, and we can sort that out in the meantime.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have the task lists done in time, you know, that we can check them off and show. Makes it a lot easier than.
Yeah, and we should discuss how we want to do that. Like Swarm has a system as well, and they don't granularly track tasks as it's just a lot of extra overhead. So they do something simpler, like, are you one of the breakout room hosts or whatever? And there's a fixed kind of reward for that. You get 100 ADA
Perfect.
for hosting a room, or you get 150 ADA for being on the planning committee, and
Perfect.
things like that. But we should definitely talk about it so we understand.
I've put a message in the chat saying if there's a list of Twitter accounts that you all want posts to be done, I can do those posts every day or every other day or whatever frequency is supposed to be done.
Okay, and so Dimitri, if you could, yeah, let's do that for next Monday. If you can join the event planning, that would be awesome. Be a great place to do it, because that information might get lost.
So one thing we can do with Twitter is our Cardano for Climate group. If we go to tweetdeck.twitter.com, we can assign other Twitter accounts with permissions to post on our behalf. So we can have people, without having to pass around passwords and all that around, we can allow other Twitter accounts to tweet. So that's something we should look at and definitely do, and figure out what our social media strategy is.
So you'll add that to the event planning slide or something for next week, Nori, because I feel.
Put it on the agenda.
Perfect.
And now we are at time, so let's go into the Wednesday
Okay.
planning
So
for tomorrow.
that one is the Google Doc or presentation one. And where is it? And the agenda, okay, this is the, sorry, I'm really having a challenge with putting those in the comments instead of in the agenda. So this is the document that we're working off of. And so the topic for now is all about collaboration. We've got these 2 extra weeks with before proposals have to be in. The other thing coming up is that I'm trying to work on these co-op proposals in every fund and trying to get those sorted out, create collaborations before the finalization of the proposal. So that's a big goal in this. And how we have that happen, I don't know exactly. Do we want to share the slide deck to do this part? Yoram, what would you suggest?
The slide deck that you show about the challenge setting, which one?
It is for the meetup for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And
We
we can, I'm thinking about changing this picture out, but we could, and it's very tentative. So far, you know, little blurb, keep going on the slide if you don't mind. Little blurb on the community, because meetup will have new people showing up. Next slide, weekly meetup, next slide. This is fun date, all about collaboration specific for the meetup and our goal of making the world work better for all people, animals, and the living planet. I think it's important to have that in front of our face all the time. Next slide, I believe, is the agenda, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So
Simon wanted to add something to this.
So this would, so there's a breakout slide and an agenda slide. So this will be the main 1 hour that we get done. I just threw this in here. Nadia will also have whatever time in this to present what her breakout room will be about. And Sebastian, Little Fish Foundation, have you figured out about how much time you need for that?
Yes, I would say about 50 minutes.
Okay. Whoever's on this document, can you just add time in brackets on that, and then we can sort it out? And elevator pitch for what you're going to be doing, Sebastian, for everybody that wasn't at the meeting yesterday.
Well, basically, I'm gonna present what is gonna be the design of the Little Fish Foundation, how we're gonna be structuring the colonies, and end up with like a roadmap of the project, and that's it. Yeah.
Perfect. And this is really helping incentivizing, connecting collaborations. It's such a huge piece of this.
The technology piece of the collaboration.
It's the technology piece of this, and having more people connected. There's also the use cases, because I have a friend, Dawn, a local friend, and I'm wondering about that. Will you be sharing about that? This experiment with use cases, Sebastian?
I don't think it is in the slides.
Okay, so it'd be interesting if we could see, you know, somebody that has the project like Dimitri's, right, as a use case for this practice run through this. And maybe there's a few others that might be able to work in it. But let's do the presentation first, and that'll probably be an eye opener enough.
How much time do we need for that?
15.
Okay.
You know, one idea that I have regarding that, maybe we can have a breakout room for projects updates, whoever wants, not now, not this time, but in general, because there is a Little Fish and Open Litter Map and different projects that want to do updates in after the kind of the last 30 minutes. Anyway, just an idea that came to mind now.
Yeah,
Instead
well,
of,
it'll be great.
Leave it.
Yeah, no, it'll be great. Not this week or the next week, but the one after for sure, updates. These ones, if we can get the proposals collaborating,
Yeah,
and working
I'm with
together
you.
before finalization, then that's going to be the goal. And then afterwards, updates are really important. This one, 10 minutes for me, because I want to take that into a breakout room. Nadia, what would you like your part to be called, and how much time do you think you want? Because we'll also take that to a breakout room if there's enough interest. Which
I
reminds me,
guess my question to this group is what started my conversation with you about this, Melanie, was that in some of the other groups that are non-community advisor related groups, like I'm in a couple women's groups and a couple different things, I'm recognizing that even people who have been in the Catalyst environment for a long time don't really understand what the community advisor role is, or that it's coming up. And it was like very surprising to me, but maybe shouldn't be surprising. So it's a question to this group as an experiment. One of my thoughts was, should I, and maybe a couple other members from the community advisor who are sort of embedded in and understand that role, pop into other groups and say, hey, this is coming up. If you are looking for a way to contribute, you could advise on proposals. You can, here's what this is and what it's about. And just maybe offer like a direction to here's where you can learn more. I don't know that I would not recommend that I suggest that people come into a breakout room this week, because it's a highly technical, like problem solving breakout room for VCAs and CAs this week, after town hall. But
no, I'm talking about if
you're talking about after this one. Yeah, so I can certainly hold that and just answer people's questions. If this group thinks that's helpful, I don't want to impose or take away from other things that are in motion. But if that's helpful and me offering that and just being available to talk about the role in general would be helpful as an opportunity for people to learn more, then that's great. And if it's more simply that I just pointed out in the meetup and it goes from there, then it could be
so
that.
whoever's sharing their screen, we're into your Discord at this point. I don't know how that works, but so Nadia, the way I see it is with the community advisor is someone who looks at the proposals and gives really good feedback. And this is such an important role before finalization. So, you know, the practicing of comments and the collaboration working on this, a person could actually look at these proposals coming up, do their CA role, and give good feedback before it gets written in stone. So this is, to me, a win-win all around. Plus, you're helping to train the CAs to do good work and get rewarded for it. It's kind of a volunteer position up until now, practice runs, but then they're going to get, you know, good and excellent assessments without worry, without them being canceled out. So that's my thought on this. Can we go back to the slide deck? Whoever's sharing their screen there, thank you. Oh, perfect. Anything else we want to add to this? So how long do you think that would take? Like, would a 5-minute blurb in the main, even a slide, or, you know, with all the links on it would be helpful?
Sure.
And then what happened last week was we had 4 breakout rooms and they turned into 2 because of interest. And that may happen this time as well. But would you be prepared to host a breakout room for a half hour, answering questions?
Yep, I can certainly do that. And it may also be that, so yeah, and if this group thinks that if this group thinks that that is valuable, I think it's valuable because
2 thumbs up from Nori. Yeah. 2 of us agree, so it's done.
Great.
How much time do you want, Nadia, on the intro part, not the breakout?
I think like no more than 5 minutes, and I'll make like a nice simple slide that has like I'll remind people that the Catalyst School, it's great timing actually. The Catalyst School, how to be a community advisor and VCA are coming up this weekend, and we're about to fix the guidelines, or not fix, but improve upon the guidelines. So it's a good time for people to look at this if they haven't considered it as an option, and maybe to learn more for next time too.
It's
5 minutes there.
perfect because, you know, it's not all new people doing proposals. Some of these guys have been around the block a few times and they need, you know, more info. So it's absolutely perfect.
Great. So yeah, 5
so-
minutes there, and then I'll give you a slide with some links.
Right. And you have the editable slide deck in the links here. So you can just drop your slide in there. We may, you know, shift it around a little bit, but if you can show up a little bit early tomorrow, that'd be awesome. Maybe
Great.
15 minutes before. Okay. Simon, do you want to do a little 5-minute spiel on challenge proposals?
Yes, that would be amazing. I think maybe we should put them together, our two proposals, because they're challenge proposals and kind of the same.
It is, but this is also has to do with another proposal that I'm working on in every challenge setting. So they're combined, but they're not. I'm combining the cooperation part, but yours is the challenge, climate change, the challenge, and rewriting that one, right? For Fund 8. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, I wanted to present I guess the last proposal, or maybe just say a few words about it, and then in the breakout room, I would like to facilitate that.
So Simon, because Nori, you're writing up, we have several on the burner right now. And I don't know that Simon knows much about the other two.
Yeah, we can combine into the challenge proposals in a breakout and just make sure we're collaborating and not all writing.
Overlapping.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
then
Simon
we have the-
and Nori would be doing that. Would you be in on that one, Nori?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then we have the third one, yeah, the Cardano impact, right?
So I'm
So
doing
the
a very tiny challenge, very small budget, non-competitive, working on a model for collaboration. That's basically the idea, that I'm going rogue.
No, I saw.
So the Cardano,
I,
no, please.
I didn't want to give the impression last time that, you know, it was a bad idea or anything. I think it's great. So,
No, it's good. So 10-minute, and this would be just a bit of an intro during the main one, and then you'd have a breakout. So all of these end up being breakout rooms as well, right?
Yeah. And I get just little teaser pitches for the breakout rooms. And then we can go where people's interest lies. Dimitri, your hand is up. And you're muted. Okay.
Yeah. Just wanted a question to Nadia. Just to make sure that whether the rule is still the same regarding CA work in the categories that one is already proposing as not being allowed. Is that still the same? Because rules change sometimes. So just wanted to check on that.
Yes, that's still the case.
All right, thanks.
All right.
A question about challenge proposals. Is that only for the climate type of challenges, or for all challenges we are discussing? For all challenge setting.
We're discussing for the last bullet point are the things that Cardano for Climate is writing as a group, and putting our names.
Again, I'm going to be hosting a breakout room after town hall on Wednesday, specifically for what we started with the challenge setting, challenge team overall. You'd be welcome to join into this because it's going to be sort of a mini workshop for what I hope to be able to accomplish in Catalyst. So.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. anything else? So breakout rooms, this is basically anything else we want to add to the agenda tomorrow? Going once, twice. How are we doing for time there, Nori?
We're way ahead. You had like oodles of time for this. So.
Whew. It's like a teacher getting ready and not having enough material. So I think we're good. Like, I'll take this. If anybody wants to help, sort out these slides, Sebastian, we can just copy and paste what Jem had done in there. How about order of this? Does this look good?
Yeah, and I think it gives us what, 40 minutes, and then we have 50 minutes for breakouts. That's a nice.
So at the very beginning, maybe we just do the, like as far as the agenda, put in the check-in, how are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe we open the room a little early just to allow some of that to happen.
Yeah, I hope to be there early. It's power wise, right?
Yeah. Okay. On the agenda, we had Nadia next. Have we already done that as part of this?
I think we did it. This is the most efficient meeting I've been in ever. But that's it.
Well,
so I'll just.
I think now.
Go ahead.
No, please, Nadia. No, please. I said that we now need a speech from Nadia. No, that's the part of the speech of the newcomers.
You know what it is? It's because this new agenda, I'm panicking, trying to stay on time, a little bit and rushing maybe, but it is working way better though. So I'm so thankful for having this set up.
Do you have a poem you could recite for us, Nadia?
A poem?
God, in like 10 minutes, I'm going to think of like 400 things that would have been great to fill 30 seconds with right here. But right now, it's International Women's Day. That's a good thing.
Yeah, there's always fun. Next week. Come join us.
There's always next week. Yeah. So maybe a clarifying question is, I guess my angle for talking here will be the community advisor role. This is what it is if you're not familiar with it. So from a beginner's perspective, and then to your point, Melanie, that this is a really, some of the benefits of doing it, and this is a very helpful thing for the proposers to move things forward, and for the proposers to have a pre-perspective through this time as they have time to continue to edit. Are there any important points that this group would have me really focus on here, considering the people who will be in the room? Is there anything else that you think is really key?
Do you want to be covering decentralized governance and community advisors, or just specifically on onboarding community advisors? Because decentralized governance is another topic in itself.
It's about how to keep Catalyst going and the key role of CAs in that process. That's why I put it there. We shouldn't think of decentralized governance as this weird, high-level important thing. It's the actions we do as voters, as CAs, as VCAs, that are the core engine of the governance of Catalyst.
That's helpful, Nori, because I do think that feels lofty sometimes, having that as an item, totally. Especially for people who are new. So, and I don't know how many people will come to this new, but I imagine that happens a lot. So what I'm hearing you guys say is, maybe I could talk about the community advisor role as a piece of the puzzle, how it interrelates with everything else. And then more of the tactical logistical stuff of here's how you become one, and here's a video that explains it, and here's what's coming up, and that kind of stuff. So a big picture view of the importance of it. Yeah. Okay, great. That's very helpful.
Because my presentation has a puzzle in it.
Great.
Yeah. So as a piece of a puzzle. So the role of community advisors, is that okay to take out decentralized governance?
How about the role and opportunity?
Perfect. I like that.
And for
So,
me, it's really one of the best ways to come on board to Catalyst.
Yes.
Really.
I think so too. Yeah.
And it's yeah.
That's a little less scary, that the role and opportunity of community advisors. And this is a really great way to bring people on board.
Mhm.
Because we get all this in Telegram too, like, can you give me feedback on my proposal? What's this like? Well, this is dry runs practice for being a good community advisor.
Yeah.
And that'd be a good thing to bring up in this group. If you see someone asking for feedback, start feeding back like a community advisor.
Mhm.
Even in the
You know what?
comments of idea skill, this shows up, and then you have more. Yeah, sorry, Yorm.
One thing that I will recommend, well, we move to that topic now, but to recommend for the next fund, if you can actually include the community advisor guidebook in the proposal process, I think that's very interesting, because I find myself at least 50 times, explaining to people, connect the impact, what you write, connect it to the challenge, like the impact, feasibility, or dataability, and really how to align it with the challenge. If you can have a summary of that in the proposal process, that everyone can see how the proposal has been evaluated, I think we will help both the proposal to be better as well as to the Catalyst advisor to do their work. And yeah, that's one suggestion.
Yeah, I agree. That relationship is very in a perfect situation, it's very collaborative. And on the other side of that, it's also a good amount of accountability. So I think for a proposer and a community advisor, you really get a sense of expectations when you think about how that role is going to approach looking at what you're proposing. So
Completely.
yeah.
It's like a teacher coming in and saying, this is how the essay should be written. This is the expectations of an A, a B, a C on this. This is really super clear as the teacher. And then your proposal's good.
In fact,
when
being
this
a
is
community
connected.
advisor makes you a better proposer because because you're writing essentially for CAs and you know how they're going to be looking at it. And so I think it's actually, for me, it's a prerequisite to be a proposer is to be a CA, because without that, you don't know how to write a proposal well, and you're diminishing your chances of getting voted in.
I think it's also really nice too, just the sense of really getting a picture of what's happening, because you might not delve really deeply into all the challenge areas in the beginning. You're probably going to go to the things that are most interesting to you or that mean the most to you. But wow, you really can walk around. I did a few, did Latin American community and a couple climate things, proposals, evaluated them. And I ended up on a deep dive into the projects and the people, and it was just so interesting and inspiring. So it's really fantastic. It's very uplifting. I think it's very it's also strenuous and it has all of those components, but you really get to walk around the community and what's happening when you take that on.
Yeah. Could you also touch upon the reward and incentive structure for CAs? Because that could be also an incentive for people to really participate, because some people think it's just a little token amount of money, but I know that some people are professional CAs and that's what they do for a living. So it is possible to make decent amounts of money if you're good at the role.
That's great. And we just got the outline, like the very simple, I guess not simple, but the very digestible and in-depth explanation of it from Danny. So I can also link that document in there. People can check it out and really understand what it is.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a lot of projects, and especially in our space, that struggle with sustainability. This is an additional thing you can do to help sustain at least your involvement in Catalyst until funding does come through. So I think that's kind of time.
I have two last recommendations. One, just ideas. I guess you get so many of them these days, but one is there's something that disturbed me the last time of CAs is that there was kind of a race for to be average, not a race to be an excellent CA. And normally CAs should be excellent CAs, right? They should try. I don't know. That's at least my philosophy. If you review something, do it good, and then get rewards for that. But there was kind of somehow erase for average, and then sometime, okay. So anyway, it's a big discussion, I guess. That's a little bit my feeling. So I don't know how can we incentivize to do good, but and second thing, I would love to, I mean, we integrated now, thanks to the work here of Cardano for Climate and others, the SDGs into the proposal process. It will be great to somehow have in the future also indication of the impact, the actual impact of the proposal on people, on something like that. That if we want to integrate the Cardano for Climate part, so how can we actually have impact on kind of Cardano as a blockchain that want to be blockchain for good? I know it's complex issues, it's not simple, but that can be amazing because, yeah, just a thought maybe for the future, something that we can develop together and
Hey,
have to
I'm
develop
gonna
maybe with
be
the community.
bad cop. We're at 10 minutes to the top of the hour and we've got a hard stop.
Yeah, good to be a bad cop. So it's not for now discussion, just two ideas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
so I'll
develop
maybe-
this because we can also do this next week. We can
Yeah.
find out our feet and then take this, if Nadia, as long as you're willing to do this again next week. Grow our CAs and make those connections. Dimitri, you have your hand up. Is this?
Yeah, just to find out, last week you wanted me to do some sort of creative writing on something, and you said to talk about it this week at the meeting. So just wanted to remind you about that.
And that's a good segue. The next segment is tasks. Oh no, wait, just before we do that, delegating tasks, let's give Andre and Miro an opportunity to do their thing for 5 minutes.
Can we switch to the today's agenda? I did make a switch on the agenda and putting the puzzle presentation about this whole meeting. It feels better to, this is about cooperation, and then we'll go into Little Fish, Nadia, and Simon, if that's okay. All right, who's sharing?
Andre and Miroslav, you want to take it away?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna try and share.
So whoever's sharing, can they stop sharing?
All right, you should be able
Can you see this?
Just 1 second.
Okay. So, oh, okay.
Oh, you did that already. Great.
Yes, yes. Okay. I remember you guys said in the Telegram group, you need to decide what tools you want to pay for. So I would need a list of that because I've already built the system to do transactions, so we can do that. But I need to update if we can get a list of those tools and the task list for the events. If I can get that list as well, then I can update the system.
And that's coming because that's the brain dump I'm doing on this next event planning. Can we, is it possible for you to give us a wallet address for C4C accounting? Then you have the seed words, we keep our seed words, and we send you money when you need it. Would that be okay? Rather than you having the seed words to our main C4C wallets. I've been trained not to share seed words. Would that work?
No, that's fine. So how that's going to work then is you're going to send me, every time I do a payment, you send that exact amount to me and then I send it.
Or a little bit extra because there's fees and different things like that. So nobody's out.
Yeah.
Or if we know about how much a month we're spending, we can send, like, here's the monthly 4,008 or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's awesome.
Fine. I would like
so
also
you can set up the wallet?
Yeah, we already set up. No
yes.
problem for that. Yeah.
Okay.
And also today we finish Gitbook, so everything is also ready for transaction on Gitbook and GitHub. So we are done for system with system.
So our first payment going out would be to Simon for the Pro Zoom account, isn't that right? Nori?
Yes. We should collect a lot of we should collect the cost because there's a bunch of things that we've been paying for, like our domain name, our website,
Yes, yes, yes.
the Zoom accounts and other tools.
Yes.
So can we send out something to collect that data? How do we do that as a community? Because this comes from all sorts of different.
Yes. We've got a Google form that we can just pin somewhere. So in this Google form, you can say who needs to get paid, from which funded proposal gets paid. You can attach a receipt as well to this Google form. So we just need to find a home for this Google form where everybody
How about our
knows.
core Telegram group, and I'll pin it there. We can also try and pin it in our accounting in the Discord. Means two different places, but that would be great.
Yes. No,
okay, that's a good home for it.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
I think that's it.
We are going to have a meeting to discuss the tasks and how we want to reward people for their contributions. So I don't know, we're not ready for that yet, but we need to have that. Maybe that's a good topic for next meeting.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's add it to the agenda for next week. Somebody else has to remember to do it.
Okay. We don't have a lot of time left for the admin stuff.
So Dimitri, what was it that you were saying that I forgot about? So maybe for admin tasks, they're gonna show up in.
Last week, you wanted me to do some creative writing on a particular thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you said to discuss it this week.
Yeah, I've forgotten what it is. So what's going to happen in our core Telegram group? We're going to assign some tasks, you know, and people can pick them up from there for now. It's still in the works. We're still trying to figure this out, how to run it smooth, where to find the information. Okay, will that work?
This was going to be the write-ups on the new monthly event where you wanted some stuff written up and you wanted it to be done in a creative way, and that's why I said I'll help you with that.
Okay.
So this would be for the plastics event coming up?
Yeah, that's the one, I guess.
Okay. For that, I guess the appropriate venue will be our Monday events meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because events planning can also be our yeah, we can maybe, if there's time, no time. Meetup write-ups are really good in that point. And Tyler, you're off mute. Do you want to say something? He doesn't even seem to have a mute button.
You might not have any audio.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't have audio by the looks of it. Nori, you're running the show. Back to you.
We're out of time. So any last minute acknowledgements for anybody? Acknowledgements are a time to just raise your hand and say, I noticed so-and-so do this in the meeting, or they brought up this cool topic, or it's just to acknowledge everybody for the things that you appreciate. And I will go ahead, Jorn.
Yeah, no, it's so great to see a lot of people here and, you know, coming and discussing and participating. So I really want to acknowledge that, and thank you really for coming and helping and jumping in. It's great.
Thanks, Jorn. And I echo that, and I want to acknowledge Nadia for coming and trying to engage with this community with the community advisor stuff. It's really great to see you really embracing the CA rep role and getting out and connecting with people.
And I see pieces of the puzzle that are so absolutely incredibly important to make this thing happen. Sebastian, you showing up, Simon with the Git book, the GitHub, Abe coming in here and supporting everything that he does, accounting guys, Nadia CA, Tagain showing up, Dimitri showing up, Tyler coming in, Nori, Yoram, of course, it kind of, you get so familiar, you forget to to acknowledge how important this team is. But this is a beautiful picture that's forming. So I just want to say thank you for being part of it.
All right, we're at time. Some of us are jumping over to the Gimbal Labs thing. Other people have other things. So have a nice day. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being a part of this.
Thank you very much.
Best day ever for everybody so far. Okay, ciao.
Yeah, thanks. Bye-bye,
Bye.
everyone.